So we're still in Stave 3. We've seen the Cratchit family in the present, and now we get Scrooge's reaction. He sat very close to his father's side. This is Tiny Tim. Bob held his withered little hand. So we see there's so much wrong with Tim, and we don't know. Withered, kind of almost gone, not being able to be used, useless in a way, as if he loved the child and wished to keep him by his side and dreaded that he might be taken from him. Dreaded. He's in fear of his death. And Scrooge notices, he asks the ghost, "Tell me if Tiny Tim will live." "I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, emptiness, vacant, that's amazing. If this is conditional, can Scrooge change?" No, oh no, kind spirits say he will. Oh no, kind spirits, say he will be saved, spared. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, none other of my race will find him here. What then? If he be like to die, he had better do it and decrease the surplus population. So again, if you don't change, he's dead. Okay? But what's the big deal? He quotes Scrooge back. What's the big deal? He'll decrease the surplus population. Remember, that's Malthus's idea, the economist on the poor. There are too many people. So if the poor die, that's okay, because then, we'll get the population to the right amount and that everyone will have the same. Something like that. Scrooge hung his head to hear his own words quoted by his spirit and overcome with penitence and grief. Penitence, wanting to make up, a religious humbleness, a recognition of wrong. Here we get shame, recognition of being wrong. What's changed? He's not thinking about himself. He's starting to think about others, isn't he, Scrooge? He is feeling desperate pain for this innocent little boy, and readers felt it too, that he's such a popular character. He's small like a child, but he's so fragile. A withered hand, his legs in an iron frame. He's crippled. He describes himself as crippled. Man, if man you be in heart, not adamant, not steel, not metal, not a robot, not impenetrable by emotion, forbear that wicked cant until you have discovered what the surplus is, where it is. You could shut up with your sadness. What is the surplus? Where is the surplus? Okay? Where is the surplus? What causes it? Do you think you get to decide who's going to live and who's going to die? Shh, you're ridiculous. Again, he's mocking his arrogance. It may be that in the sight of heaven, you are the most worthless, more worthless, and less fit, okay, to live than this guy. But to hear the insect on the leaf pronouncing on the too much life among his hungry brothers in the dust, he doesn't like it. The metaphor here, okay, is the filled up insect on the leaf talking about those in the dust. Oh, poor them, poor them. And he is just kicking Scrooge in right now. Scrooge bent before the he's down now. rebuke, being told off, trembling, fearful, hearing his own name, okay, so Scrooge fears judgment. He fears the ghost telling him off. Even feeling guilty isn't enough. He has lived a life of sin, and now he's seeing what it causes. And to just bring it on home, we hear Bob toast him. Mr. Scrooge, I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast. Can you imagine this? This is insane. He loves him. Like he toasts the meal to him because he's his employer. And Mrs. Cratch, I love her. Yeah, whatever. Founder of the feast indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast on. I hope he'd have a good appetite for it. She'd just tell him off. I'd tell him off. Because Lord knows you don't, Bob. I mean, we get why. And he's like, stop it. It's Christmas. It should be Christmas, on which one drinks the health of such an odious, smelly, stingy, doesn't give anything, hard, no feeling, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is. No one knows better than you how much he is. But it's Christmas. Okay, I'll drink to him for your sake, but not for a long life to him. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt. But he isn't. He's a miserable old guy. Okay? I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. Now, this is interesting. So the children drank the toast after her. It was their first in their proceeding that had no heartiness. They have no happiness about it. And Tim drinks last of all, but he didn't care. Even he doesn't care. Scrooge is the ogre. He's the monster, the villain, as he is in this book to some extent. He is the mythical beast, you know. Just hearing his name puts a shadow on the party, and for at least 5 minutes, okay? For at least 5 minutes, because he is a wretched, horrible person who takes away from their life. And Scrooge not only has to see how loving these people are, how vulnerable Tiny Tim is, he also has to witness how he is not really, how he is seen by others in the present. And even, before he didn't really care, but I think we're going to see he starts to care.